Also making news today, a second convoy of trucks carrying humanitarian aid has now been allowed into Gaza. That's according to Egyptian media. At least 17 more trucks have reportedly entered through the Rafah border crossing, bringing the total number of trucks allowed into the besieged territory to at least 37. Hospitals have said they're running low on medicine and fuel for emergency generators amid a territory-wide blackout since the Hamas attack on southern Israel just over 2 weeks ago. The World Health Organization says the humanitarian aid that's gotten into Gaza is not close to being enough.
Only 4 trucks with medical supplies entered. Other trucks were with other type of humanitarian aid. And we had some surgical equipment there to treat those who have trauma injuries. We also had some medicines for chronic diseases and some general material for hospitals, but that's nearly not enough for what is needed in number of Gaza hospitals. What they need is not only medical supplies, and we are ready as WHO to bring more, and we need this sustained, safe access to Gaza. What they also need is a clean water and fuel.
Palestinians with dual citizenship are waiting at the Rafah crossing, hoping it'll be open to allow them to flee the conflict in Gaza. Many of the families have been gathering for the past week at a cafe near the border.
I come by myself because my home have a strike last night and I have injury in my hand and in my head. I can show you my picture in my phone. I can't stay in my home because the ceiling is damaged, the doors are taken off my home and rooms, and there is a lot of rocks and wreckage on the floor.
The typically bustling streets of Jerusalem are practically deserted. Many shops have decided to close in the Holy City after thousands of tourists chose to leave Israel following the start of the war. Jerusalem is home to some of the holiest sites in Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, and has attracted pilgrims and other visitors for centuries. Defense Minister Bill Blair says Ottawa has a high degree of confidence that Israel did not strike a hospital in Gaza City earlier this week. The Palestinian Health Ministry says hundreds of people died in the blast at the hospital on Tuesday. Blair says Ottawa's conclusion that Israel did not strike the hospital follows an independent review by the Canadian military. He also says a more likely scenario is that the strike was caused by an errant rocket fired from Hamas-controlled Gaza. Palestinian officials have blamed Israel, while the Israeli army has said from the beginning that it was caused by a misfired rocket from an Islamic Jihad Palestinian group. The United Nations has called for an independent international investigation. We spoke with Major General David Fraser about the findings regarding the Gaza hospital bombing.
I think it's more about the political statement that Canada is in support of Israel than it is about the actual information itself. I mean, Canada has come out already just stating that it's in support of Israel and its right to defend itself. And all the defense minister did was, in his own lane, was to verify that, information that we already knew and just reaffirm Canada's support of Israel.
Ottawa will end evacuation flights from Israel next week, citing decreasing demand and increasingly available commercial options. In a statement, Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly says the last scheduled flight from Tel Aviv will leave tomorrow. Canadian Armed Forces aircraft will remain on standby in the region in case conditions change and the demand for evacuation flights ramps up again. Joly says there have been 17 evacuation flights out of Tel Aviv over 9 days, and Canada has helped nearly 1,600 Canadians, permanent residents, family members, and foreign nationals to leave Israel. Meantime, Minister Joly says the government continues to work to secure a window for Canadians to exit Gaza and is giving them information, including windows for a possible exit at the border crossing in Rafah.